Yeah.
All right. I see a thingy.
A thingy? Wow, a thingy.
The bulldozer's engine roared to life. Mud and rocks flew as it fought for traction. It crashed the
Bulldozer.
concrete wall and landed heavily in the yard. If it were an animal, it would have shaken its head after the impact. Of course, it had no head, nor eyes. Shadows crawled on its form, twisting it into a monster. Then, it came for me.
They're gonna try to fucking DL me. They're gonna DL me. Light, you can hurt them. Yeah, I know.
You're always the good shots for the cans.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't tell me what to do.
Fair enough.
Hey, look. An Oh Dear Diner coffee thermos. You know what's funny? If I had an Oh Dear Diner coffee thermos, I would bring it places and then just not tell them it's from a video game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it's this really awesome like local coffee shop in Bright Falls, it's like in Bright Falls, Washington.
He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake? What was this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say.
Train. No, and I think we just need to hop on a train and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
When shit sucks, hit the bricks.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. It keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me.
He thinks that's not Alice.
Hmm.
Just something in my gut.
Alright. Get hacked. So who do you think it was if it wasn't Alice?
I don't know.
Think it was Barry?
No, I don't think it was
The pipe
Barry.
wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework.
Barry!
Darkness, it
Are you
floated in the
using
air,
your impression
twitching.
skills
For a
again?
moment, I didn't understand what I was
Fucked
looking
up, man.
at. The heavy object
Trying to
lurched
make
at me
Alan
with
feel
impossible
better.
force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage. before it flew at me again.
So once we get to the end of this episode, I think that'd be a good time to stop for this stream.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too.
I could see a railway bridge up ahead and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Ladder.
Ladder. It's the climb. I remember this too.
Nerve-wracking.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger.
Get the
and it was
fuck
taking
out of
over
here!
everything in its path.
Oh boy. Oh god, it's that thing that it said on the manuscript page. Literally just a second ago. Ow. Ow.
Ow.
Wish I had the flashbang still.
The opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Well, at least your checkpoint wasn't too far back.
Yeah. Doop, 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 doop. But yeah, that's the one thing where it's like, man, Saga never had to deal with any possessed items.
Yeah.
And that's a shame. Because I could see her just being like, what the fuck is going on?
What was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over
Yeah.
everything.
Did Alan Wake 2 end up on a cliffhanger? Or...
It did, but there's also a new game plus now, and apparently that changes some stuff.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here! Ow! Stop that, you. Bye. Oh boy. Ah!
This does not look fun.
Ow. Ow. Ow! My hubris!
I was gonna say, you're being attacked. Why are you picking? It's like, ooh, a piece of paper. Ah!
Ooh, piece of candy.
I can't talk. I'm the same way when I play games, though. Ooh, shinies. I'm the one looting. I'm the one looting everything off the floor while the rest of the party is still fighting.
Which is not true in D&D.
No.
In D&D, I'm usually the one that's like, do they have anything on them? No matter what type of character I'm playing. Like, my bard is the exact same thing. It's like, they got anything on them? Whoop! Ow. Ow!
Stuff moves too quick.
Fuck. Where did it even come from that time?
Opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Can't not grab the page when it's right in front of me, cat.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
Yoink.
Yoink.
Ah! Press the wrong button.
As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Got a bigger flashlight now.
Ooh.
Look at that. An Oh Dear Diner coffee thermos. I just want to imagine that somebody watched this without knowing anything about Alan Wake 2, and it's just like, why does he keep saying it like that? And it's like, fuck you, that's why. Guys, please. I didn't. No, I didn't, officer. You can go away now.
Woo!
Whew. Fuck off. Okay. Let's take a second here. There we are. Alright.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Kinda figured. Stop it. Stop it. Ow. Stop it. Whew. Shotguns are nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're nice to have. Okay.
We take the facts of our existence for granted, unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode,
A family occasion.
Journalist Alvin Durleth's trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful. Until tonight.
Well, I'm glad you changed your minds about this. Ancient customs, local mythology. My editor loves this kind of stuff.
Well, Mr. Durleth, we don't want to feel like we're on exhibition, but you have demonstrated the seriousness of your intent.
Oh, I am serious. Really, just do your thing. I'll stay out of your way and observe.
Actually, I thought you could assist us. I'm afraid we are a man short. It would provide you with an intimate perspective.
Could I really?
Of course, Mr. Durleth.
Well, I guess that's the least I... What would I have to do?
Oh, here. Let me show you with a kiss.
What did you...
Oh, Mr. Durleth, you have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. Your body shall host his 1,000 young, and all shall be glory.
Oh.
This escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Shh, darling, be calm. Shh.
Alvin Durleth learned a harsh lesson. If you go looking for mythology, it
Man, there's not much build up. Don't know anything about the characters.
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
I still, like, when I think about, like, writers, like, going to places and learning about different, like, cultures to write books and stuff, I always think of the book Friday Night Lights. I read it in high school, and I heard, even though it was like a football book, I still heard it was still a really interesting book. So I picked
Oh yeah, and he like lived there for like what was it? A couple years, right?
He lived there for at least a year.
Yeah.
And it was like he offered up like the book was about football, but it was also about the small town and how fucking racist they were.
Yep.
And he did not paint the town in a good light because they were fucking racist.
Yeah.
And the townspeople were really mad at him.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have been racist. Do you ever think about that? Ow. Ow. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. So there's this. Get flare gunned, idiot!
Like the offer, like even in like the after comments, even inside these like, well, I was in town, the folks were like the friendliest, kindliest people, but I can't hide the fact that they were just ugly with the racism.
Yep. Yep, that's the problem. It's weird too because like a lot of racist people they are because they grew up in an echo chamber of it.
Yeah.
And so they just assume everyone is. Like that's just
They assume
well,
if
of
you
course.
look like them, then you think the same.
Yeah. It shows how much it's born of ignorance and a fear of change. It's really fucking sad, honestly. Okay. 7 flares. That's good. Like that. Also like how it's specifically lithium batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. An Oh Dear Diner coffee Thomas. Oh shit, this coffee is shit. My entire morning is ruined. And all because of your shit coffee. Only we could have good coffee.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine.
Also, it's bear season.
The coal mine wasn't far now.
Like, imagine the beautiful drone shot vistas you could have for this.
Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would
I
give
would
me
definitely
Alice. I wouldn't give
want
him any other choice.
Sam Lake,
drowning
the
man
guy
would
who
clutch at a
wrote
straw.
Alan Wake, and like basically like the writer of the Remedyverse.
Mm-hmm.
I would want him very heavily involved, though.
Yeah.
I would want him to be very heavily involved, and if possible, I would... Actually, can I just get back into the car? And I would want it to be like, you know, the people making this, I would want them to be fans of the games. Essentially, I don't want a Halo. I don't want a Halo TV show from Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I'm not even a Halo fan, and just
Little by little,
hearing
without
the
realizing it,
horror
I'd
stories of
come
that
to
shit.
believe that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail.
Alan, I
was
know
a
you're
fugitive
tired,
from the
but-
FBI. The whole world taken over by the dark presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity.
But yeah, like, cause I think like secondhand account here because I heard people talking about this is apparently the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it was like the creative team on the show like had never played the Halo games and didn't feel the need to. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? If you're writing a movie about, like, if you're writing an adaptation of a book, you read the book. Like, are you fucking stupid? What's wrong with you? Huh, where'd the door go?
It just... You would think that you pay attention to the source material, but...
Yeah,
Maine, and
you'd
you're
think.
listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big-shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass. Not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note,
Pat Man's a real one.
I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Man, does Pat Main ever go to sleep?
Probably goes to bed at like 10 a.m.
Oh, the dream.
Wakes up at like 3.
The
Maybe
dream.
Maybe 4 or 5.
The dream! Living the dream! What? Almost got Evil Deaded. It won't let us leave. Whee. Brakes are a little slow. Or no, airbags are a little slow. But that's what these tests are for! I saw something and it was like, The Grinch with Jim Carrey would be a much better movie with a different color grading, and it showed like the original color grading and then one where it's like much more saturated and vibrant. And I'm like, yeah, that would have looked a lot better. Because the original one is just, it's so muddy and gross looking, honestly. Just, it makes it feel like not a good time. Not to mention, it's weird that like all the Who's are so capitalistic in that, when the original short is like they don't care. The gifts are a bonus, you know?
Welcome back to KBF-FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Oh.
See, to me, that's strange, because I always pegged you as a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever, and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or heck, childish even?
Yes.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy.
But yes, it is. It is extremely childish and depressing.
Well, no. What I am saying is...
Like, honestly, someone who believes in true love or love at first sight, that's a red flag to me. Just like, ooh, oh boy. You are not willing to put any work into a relationship, huh?
I believe in instantly connecting with someone, but I don't. But as like love, I don't think so.
I don't, but also I am like, if people could be compared to, like, you know, some people are more like a dog and some people are more like a cat, I'm a cat.
Yeah.
Just like, no, leave me alone until you prove yourself, and then I'm like, okay, I'm okay with you. But also leave me alone.
Meow.
Does not want me to go up here? Oh, nope. Okay. I just got caught on geometry. Well, hello!
Manuscript.
Vermont. Spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw.
Ew.
Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
The fuck? Gross.
Weirdo.
Big toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity energy there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fight this guy. Why? Yeah, I gotta fight him. Why? It's fighting time. What's wrong with you? Woohoo! Visitor parking. Alright, I'll go this way.
Well, would you look at that?
An Oh Dear Diner coffee thermos. I need to find somebody to validate parking.
I was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now. With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
Damn right.
Pat's a real one.
In 1970, a volcanic eruption below Cauldron Lake, while relatively minor, caused most of the deep mining tunnels to collapse or flood. 32 miners lost their lives. That's not minor. In the calamity. And all mining around Bright Falls came to a final stop. Not many of the remaining buildings are protected as historical landmarks. I'm of two minds about a historical landmark. Because on the most part, I'm like, yeah, there are buildings that need to be protected, but then there are some where it's like,
go outside.
I don't know if
Cops
it
have to be
does.
looking for me.
I don't like that some places like are
The new
so
sun turned the
committed
place into a
to
sauna.
To being
preserving
historical, that they try not
Different
to
scenarios
change or
in my mind.
advance.
Ways of how I
Like-
tortured the
like,
kidnapper to get
like
Alice back,
Pemberton Hall at
or
our
the different
college.
horrible things he could have
the
done to
girls'
her.
dorm.
I
Yeah.
There's no
imagined
air
her dead.
conditioning in
I
that
had no
dorm
way of
because it's
knowing
a
she was
historical
still
site.
alive.
Yeah.
It was killing me.
Like the Dana Thomas house
I
here
was
in
running
Springfield,
on blind hope.
it's been
It was
mostly
all a
kept the
waste of
same, but they
time.
put in air conditioning.
The bastard never showed up.
And I imagine that building would get fucking cold in the winter.
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked
You
around by
want
you.
to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello? Ah! I'm gonna kill him.
I had to get to Mirror Peak.
Fuck!
Well,
Okay.